I'm Patrick McAndrew. I'm the Associate Director of Learning and Teaching within the Institute of Educational Technology at the Open University. The Open University is the biggest university within the UK. We've got about 250,000 students, and of those actually it's about 11,000 to 12,000 declare themselves to have disabilities, which makes us the provider of education to about half of the people with disabilities in the UK who are in higher education. What this makes us is a big customer really for the ways in which we can help those with disabilities to learn. We're very much an online university now, so we've been looking at the ways we can help people, the way we can help ourselves as well, because we've got to support people, we've got to meet legislation. And meeting the challenge of working with disabled students is really important for the Open University. Another factor of the Open University is that we're users of Moodle. Moodle is an open source learning environment, and it's been adopted since I think 2006 by the Open University, and we've invested a lot of our time and effort into making Moodle work for us. Moodle itself is changing at the moment. It's going from version 1 to version 2, and this is giving us a chance to reflect on how best we can make use of Moodle. In EU4ALL, we've made changes to Moodle so that we can use the system, it's called content personalisation, that enables particular users to describe the problems they might have, and then the content to be changed, personalised, so that people can get the content that suits themselves. Video with subtitles if they're hard of hearing, audio descriptions added to the same videos if they're blind. Those sort of things. It's quite tricky to handle. It's currently rather a sort of manual process, and we need to improve the flow both for staff and for the learners in the end. So we're in EU4ALL. There's a range of services that, like content personalisation, that help the content to learner, but also help staff keep track. And so we're learning lessons from EU4ALL through studies that we're carrying out. So we're running focus groups, carrying out end-user studies where we get people in, we're asking questions of these people, and we're getting a lot of really good ideas about exactly how these services work. But it's not in isolation. We're part of a European project, so we're learning from the studies that are happening at the Spanish distance university, UNED, and studies that are taking place in more traditional universities to show how the same service is needed across different institutions and different ways of learning. A really important part of trying to act in a good way with people with disabilities is paying attention to standards as well. There's a lot of work on into standards, and one of my colleagues who's part of EU4ALL has been representing the OU and EU4ALL in those standards meetings as they work out the best way to deal with different accessibility problems. But layered on top of standards has got to be pragmatics. We've got to understand that enough information is what we need. In other words, we can't have people go through more work describing the problems they might have than they get out of the system being able to deliver them what they actually need. So the whole approach of EU4ALL, the whole approach of the Open University in the UK, is that addressing the needs of disabled users should bring advantages for all. Actually paying attention to the different personalisation needs, the different sorts of content that would suit disabled users, is just the same for anybody. Everybody has different challenges that they can meet. In building good ways to describe what people need, giving good systems that meet those needs, it will really help and deliver advantages for all.